everything doing all right this morning. This is early rising grind for me. I don't know about you. I'm just getting straight into it today, you know? So, be prepared to take notes. Be sure to have your notebook out. Be sure to have your tabs out. Whatever you do to take notes, be sure to have that out because I don't know what we're going to cover today, but what I'm going to do is I know for sure I'm going to get into the basics of what works over everything. Water and fruit is probably by far the best decision you can use to hydrate yourself in the morning. A lot of people don't drink water in the morning, which is terrible because it's the simple fact that if you want to make a positive decision, you should drink a cup of water first. Second thing is initially, if you want a natural hydration, eat fruit. It could be an orange, lemon, banana, apple. Like if you want a true natural body hydration in your morning, eat fruit. I don't go through no sausage biscuits with milk and shit like that. It'll be all fucked up. Can't even think straight. Can't even, function straight. But I have to figure out where my marker's at so I can get on board with this morning. Oh, there we go. Foods, money, education, sex. That's probably by far the most of what most humanity think about. And it's food, money, education, and sex. It's essential for you to collect all of these, you know? It's like 20, 30 degrees outside, but we got to warm it up in here. I'm going to turn the air on. And so, basically separating these things is not the hardest thing in the world to acquire. You just got to eat the right foods, balance your checkbook every morning, continuously read and educate yourself on topics that you're unaware of or you get upset about. And also sex, always understand how to control your root chakra. You do have that. So a lot of these things is essential to self-control because the moment you start to deteriorate yourself is when all this get out of whack and life gets out of whack. Like for instance, like even taking a habit like this, like bad habits, so I'm gonna put it right here, bad habits. Such as smoking, drinking alcohol, which it's hard for me to do. Like I say, media consumption, like those kill times and deteriorates the body, like in the mind. So more importantly, not just the body but the mind. So when you kind of indulge in these things, these are kind of like the main facets that people do. It interrupts this stuff right here because initially you don't have control over your diet, especially if you're smoking or you're drinking or you're looking at food videos on the internet and stuff like that. Like she say, oh, I want a real food mess up. Alright, money, okay? And this is, well, I live in the part of the country where we got the best weed in the whole country. And I'm a smoker, so I'm not gonna like judge you if you smoke because I smoke. But I'm backing up, and it's been yesterday since I had my last blunt, I can say. But the goal is to kind of slow down drastically because I feel like having fresh air is a whole lot better than inhaling something that's not good for my lungs. And I could say probably I started smoking in like 2020. It's 2025, so for probably the last 5 years that I have honestly been smoking heavily. Like I'm talking about blunts, like big blunts, like blunts a day. First, I started off on guards, which is paper wrap, and then um, a leaf wrap, and then I upgrade from that and start learning how to roll a leaf, and then start smoking leaves. All right, and then okay, now smoking leaves, then you get into this phase where you're smoking, then you're smoking like an eighth of a, and then you already start buying ounces and stuff like that. And it's a continuous pattern of you having to keep going up in the smoking category, and then you get in this flavor where well, I don't want regular weed now, I want the best bud now, and then you start you start spending on the $40, $50 eights, for a blunt, and it gets expensive. That's like $80 to $120 for 2 or 3 blunts for the day. And so, do you want to really be spending $100 on weed a day smoking, or and is it benefiting you in anything? Now, sometimes it do kind of like there's a lot of benefits to cannabis, such as relaxation, clarity of mind. Like I personally smoke because of clarity. Like I learned that for me personally, like when I'm working with clarity, it's so much more easier for me to do things. Like right now, I'm not smoking, so I'm pushing forward to stop that habit because it's a very cost effectively habit, and it takes me out of the hardcore reality. So actually smoking when I don't have a problem with things of that, well, not smoking or trying to perform tests when I don't have a problem smoking, that's kind of the goal because that's kind of the breakthrough, and that's what I encourage you guys to do. So like I'm not smoking right now. I really encourage you guys to not really smoke so much right now. So what, even though I said I'm a heavy smoker, and even if you're a drinker or you consume a whole lot of social media content, like I find myself on this thing too, like 7 hours a day some days, and I'm just being open with you. But the thing is you want to dilute and back up off of these things like smoking and drinking and media because it, especially what's going on with like mainstream entertainment and stuff right now, like majority of stuff is coming from these habits and not this. And initially, if you don't check your bank account, I'm not saying, oh, do I got money and stuff like that. No, check your bank account and categorize your money. Like, okay, I got this due on this day, I got this due on this day, I got this due on this day. Like, okay, this is what I have, this is what I have in savings, this is what I control. Now, once you have that, then it's so much more easy to kind of like get your food in balance, your education in balance, your sex in balance, because once you can have your money in balance and your food in balance, then it enables you time to start reading, start consuming positive content, start watching videos like this where people like me just educate you. And then from there, what happens is you start to go up the Bermuda Pyramid. I don't need that one. I'm just playing with it. You attract better looking women. Like you have to be a better person. Like you don't fuck down. Like a lot of guys do this. Like they'll be with a beautiful girl and then they'll be great like this regular chick, right? Have your standards. That's what I can say. And then when you have education, this kind of like increases your standards drastically in the sex category. So education will increase your money standards, like how you control your money, your food standards, like what you eat, obviously, and then the people you attract. So if you're a guy and you're trying to attract a pretty nice girl, you're probably going to attract a nicer girl when you have your money in order, or your education in order, or your food in order. Like that's just like I can't really like say too much on that. It's just like that's what happens. But if you want to kind of shift and increase this vibrational pole, you have to let go of this vibrational pole. Like for instance, smoking. I'm dialing back so I can increase money, education, food, and sex. And that's why I'm down back. Drinking, I don't drink, so that doesn't really affect me. Media, I'm not a big media consumption, but I do produce a lot of media. I am writing, I am posting, I am creating content. So that's where a lot of these habits come in. But like I said on the previous video, it's like if you can then go and take this part out where you don't need media whatsoever, then you can really live a very happy life. Like I'm talking about similar to how I said like if you create a lead gen campaign, you know, you erase this. And you're just calling those leads every day and you're just closing deals every day. You're not worrying about the bad habits. You're just worrying about growth. And so that's the spectrum that I would prefer you guys to be on is the spectrum of growth. Alright? No weed, no drinks, no drinking, no alcohol basically, no media, daily workouts. So even if I said works, workouts. Even if it's just like if you never did 10 push-ups before, just do 10 push-ups, you know? Like my goal is, which I already surpassed many times, but 100 to 200 push-ups a day. Because if you get to 100, 200 push-ups a day, then your body gets sore enough. You get used to that building. And so, if you wake up and as soon as you roll out of bed, especially if you're a guy, um, you just like for instance, I don't know how to explain it. I'm probably gonna do it like in a video. But you wake up, you roll the crust out your eyes, you probably check your phone, stuff like that. Just roll up, boom, 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 boom. Just like knock it out, like because if you do that, then it's like okay, you can go about your day. And so if you do another 10, 20, 50, or 100 that day, then it's like oh, that's like work, you know, and just part of my workout routine. But working out is essential for clarity thinking, and so is drinking water. You know, like drinking water is essential for clarity thinking. Like I have a water bottle right here, but the main thing is drinking water. Like a lot of people is unaware of that. Hey Jeremiah, where have you been like last 2 years? Bro, just I could say traveling across the country. I've been to last 2 years. I've been all across the country, man. I've been on the East Coast, West Coast, up north, down south. Like I've been traveling the country for the last 2 years. Like I live in Las Vegas. I don't know if you've seen on Instagram, but when they built the big globe there initially, I was there. Initially, I've been in Houston. If you're from Houston, you know, shout out to Houston, Texas. If you know me, when I was doing it, like 20, $30,000 a month with AT&T out in Texas, but just traveling, bro. That's all. Traveling, running ads, and growing. That's kind of like the main thing, bro. No weed, no drinking, no media, daily workouts, water. We all kind of know that. And fruits. Fruits is essential to hydration. Like you just see me eat an apple and stuff. Well, eat an orange that's now a mandarin. Mandarin. We used to call them tangerine back in the day. So I'm not that old, but you know I can still say back in the day because we used to call them tangerines back in the day. But if you do that initially and you kind of like really embody the changing of a lifestyle, then everything else becomes a little bit more easy to attract. But if you're in like this low vibrational state, then it's hard to attract a positive campaign. Like I really wish I could show you. This is why I used to have two phones because I could show you stuff. But I really wish I could show you some of the messages that some of my friends sent me. You know, initially because they're building their business, they're changing their lives and things of that nature. But a life changing action will attract. I'm probably spelling this wrong, but a life-changing action will attract your abundance. And what I mean by that is just eat healthy, do that. Now, let's get into the fun stuff. Let's get into the fun stuff. And the fun stuff is the marketing and advertising. That's where we make the moolah, right? So, initially, I'm going to break this down to you because I just learned this. This sign right here, all right, the money sign, I just learned that this was a serpent. So I just learned. So kind of like the uh, Blue Cross Blue Shield sign when the serpent is kind of like going up. That is very similar to that. So the money sign is a serpent. So you have to be aware of it. And you can't have too much attached to it because a lot of my friends, you guys like to run these campaigns and stuff, but you get so attached to it. So what is this? Attraction creates lists. List equals assets. I'm probably spelling this wrong. All right. Attraction create list. List equals assets because list is attention. So, like I wrote on the board the other day, is that list becomes the attention because that's what your asset is. That's your currency at this point. And so, what a lot of people may do is we may overcomplicate this, right? So the list is people. All right, let's put it right here. People info, right? Just their contact. Could be their phone number, could be their email, stuff of that nature. And that's your asset, and now it's attention. And from there, initially, what we want to do is we want to give them what? Something simple, a message. All right. And I'm gonna put right here emotional damage. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Emotional message. So you kind of want to have an emotional message which results back into a question, and it's on ad copy or I said rework. Hold on. Oh, I did it again. Hold on. It's on ad copy or I said, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm having a brain fart. I need to drink some water. That's what needs to happen. Ad copy or flyer. Okay. So I had the L stuck in my head and I was writing my arm. But ad copy or flyer. And so we send out a flyer to this list to kind of grasp attention and a clear, simple, CTR. That's not going to a sales letter. It's not going to a payment screen. It's just going to whatever the offer is. But this is essential. So how do you get the list? It goes back into the last thing that we just wrote on the board. You know, we build the value up in ourselves, we change our mindset, we change our personality, and then we start to attract friends and families that are intrigued, are interested, or need help in whatever service or product that we have. After you do that, then you create a flyer and you send it out saying, hey, this is what I have, you know. Like I had a friend message me that I used to work with, and he does thumbnails. Like, shout out to Dane, he's the coolest kid in the world. Um, he does thumbnails, and he was like, yo, bro, I generated over like 400,000 views, you know, for certain thumbnails. I can do this. And so he had the message right here, emotional message. He asked the question, saying, "Hey, you know, I see you got a YouTube channel. You know, can I help you with it?" And so he have his copy or flyer that he sent me also in the message that gave me a clear, simple call to action. And so what I did is I took action because I said, yes, that's what I agreed to it. So he had the list of his clientele. Matter if you have a huge list or not, don't compare yourself to other people. If you have 20 friends or 20 people that gave you their email on the internet, or that's all you need to start with. You don't need freaking 50,000 emails or something. You have to work your way gradually up. Like That's it. So every city I've been, like, that's what I do. I start from the ground up. Now, I probably would have had better business if I was consistent and I would have kept certain audiences and stuff. But every single time initially, it's the same formula. Have a list, have a product or service that appeal to that list, and send it out. No matter the product or service, it's all the same. All right. So hope you guys enjoyed this. So you can screenshot this, and I'm gonna erase it now. And I don't know what my phone is on battery wise. So I don't know if this video may die on us or so, but I'm just gonna keep going. You know, because my charger is still charging. And so in this case scenario, like, well, we know we need to eat healthy, so we know we need a mindset shift. So we're gonna shift mindsets, like we shift gears. And it's okay because there's 330 million people in this country. And if you made a little Google or something like that, it's okay. You know, there's 330 million other people that's making boo-boos. You know, there's a lot of people that's making mistakes. So if you feel like if you have the opportunity to watch this video and you feel like your life is ending and stuff, trust me, it's okay. Like, I understand. Like, trust me, I understand. But you have to make that mindset shift in order to grow. Because if you're in that same spectrum, worrying about the same problems, you're gonna continuously have it, and it could be very difficult. But you have to. It's easier if you're like me, and I'm not even gonna like act like that's a thing. But it's really easier if you're a single male with no kids. It's so much more easier because we don't have certain things that's attached to us that we have to make that commitment to outside of our dreams. And so if you're with a family, you could do the same thing, but you're gonna aspire. You have to have enough energy where you're not just trying to change your mindset, but you have to have enough energy where you can change your peers around you. So it could be kids, it could be a spouse, it could be friends and family. If you're living with them, you have to have enough consistency, enough energy where you're not just changing yourself, but theirs as well. And the way you can change their mindset is by doing it for yourself. Is it going to be hard? No. It's just more, honestly, I think it's an advantage, honestly, because if you have the kids in the family, it inspires you more because you can't look weak in front of them. You know, you have to prevail forward, and we all have that. Like for me, I'm a straight dude, and I'm gonna just say it like this because I understand there's like a lot of weird stuff going on. Like you got pedophiles out here that acting like things okay, PDF files or whatever we call it since we're on YouTube, and you have grown men acting like kids. You have guys that's in their 50s, they're gay as crap, and not in a disrespectful way or stuff like that, but like you have a lot of weird stuff. And so being a man of principle, being a man of your word, and actually channeling your energy to focus on the main goal will literally change your life so much more. And you have to be willing to say no. You have to be willing to stand up for what's right, and you also have to be willing to not have your head down. Yeah, I'm scared. It didn't involve me. I ain't work. Like you can't do that. Like in order for me, like personally, I can say, traveling, I'm not really scared because number one, I'm a big G, but also at the same time, it's just like you have to understand, like don't allow outside entities to affect your inside where it pulls you down and takes away your confidence. But even if you don't have anything at all, look at ground zero as a benefit and a plus rather than pull me down like and comparing yourself. That's how I look at it. I love ground zero. I love ground zero so much because it gives me so much more opportunities to shift. And that's kind of like what you want sometimes. And so you want to be able to shift out of a situation that is holding you down, and that's where that mindset shift comes in. Because if you realize you don't have like anything holding you down but those emotions of that attachment, that emotional attachment to whatever problem there is, if you shift your mindset, you can literally propel yourself away from it and then actually dang on, how can I put it, focus and channel that energy onto something that actually is going to benefit you in the long run, and then it enable you to grow. And so, for instance, like I enjoy working out. Like I probably look small and stuff because I haven't been working out lately, and so I am a thin person. Like I'm a slim fit guy, and but when I'm working out, I'm kind of bulked up. But it's easy for me to lose my gains. Like I can, I can, bro, I can grow probably about 3, 4 weeks, probably a month. But probably like after a month of it, like my muscle strength is just like it's small, but my appetite is huge. So it's just like my metabolism is so huge. So it's difficult for me to grow because I can eat a lot, but I remain the same size. But another thing too, I eat a lot of clean food. So it takes a lot more for me to intake because the reason I eat clean food because I'm a clear thinking. All right. And so once you can kind of shift that mindset shift, uh, not being said your email list can grow, and then your offer proposition grows a whole lot more. All right, so I don't want to kind of like talk about it too much, but I just want to kind of like go over some mindset stuff there because it's essential. You know, this stuff is essential. Like it's majorly essential, like to grow. Like for instance, okay, we talk about the mindset. We talk about having an email. So the mindset shift gives you the email list, all right? The mindset shift gives you the list. And once you do that initially, so I'm gonna just like draw that right there. I know that. Let's do this better. You know, I'm getting used to on the whiteboard again. I haven't been on here a while. Um, the mindset shift gives you the list, but now let's think about which is an asset, which is an asset, right? But we need a vehicle to promote to this list, and so in order for us to collect these serpents, all right, I'm gonna say it like that. We need a vehicle to collect these serpents. Like that's what we need. And so we need something that can go out there and say, hey, this is a value proposition. Will you give me money in exchange for this value proposition? Basically, that's it. And so in that case scenario, let me erase this here. You know, you need a solid offer. You know, you don't need something that is going to just sell a person because oh it's cool or it's trending or something like that. You need a solid offer that can actually help people. Now with G7 initially, what we do is build. I'm still messing up probably websites. Who's the target audience for this? It could be entrepreneurs, it could be digital creators, but for me personally, like who's my target audience for building websites, and you can do this too, is all right, best audience. Why? Because they have what? Money. Why? Because a lot of people reject home services businesses. Um, Best money there is. There's out of all categories, especially if you're a foreigner and you're not in the U.S. I could say. Initially, one of the best categories that actually make hard cash, like hard, like hand over fist money, is the home services business. And I'm not saying for you to sell that person, but I'm speaking in general for people that's out there in the field every day. Like you see HVAC guys out in the field every day. You see roofers out in the field every day. You see door-to-door guys out in the field every day. You see plumbers out in the field every day. You see floor installation guys out in the field every day. You see construction guys out there every day. You see cleaning businesses out in the field every day. You see tax preparation businesses out in the field every day. You see hair salons out in the field every day. And a lot of these people want a basic website. They don't even want anything crazy. They just want a lead gen website that can generate them leads in a QR code that they can have on a business card. So that's kind of like what we focus on there. And that's the list that I built is this. So this right here, this list is my asset. So the home service businesses that I grow off of my ads is my asset. So the offer itself is the G7, we build websites. So I'm offering a website initially for the business. And so when you focus and tune in onto this, like your ads become more sharper. Like for instance, I probably can't. I'm gonna see if I can show this to you. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it or not, but I got to see if I can do it. You know, it's better to try than not try. And let's go to downloads. Let's see if I can find your ad. And I am going to give you this one right here. Let's see if you can see it. So I don't know if you guys can see this. But all right, so we're gonna do this. So like this right here, this is an ad. All right. So this ad right here. Oh shit, I'm fucking up. All right. So this ad right here is this for this type of business. All right. So you can see this ad. This ad right here, I just want to make sure you guys see it, is being shared on Facebook. It's being shared on Google. It's being shared on my personal page. It's being shared in ads. It's being shared on all kinds of platforms. It's being shared in email because it's essentially solving a problem that these people have. So they have a website. Well, they have a business and they need a website for their business. Simple. I'm not overcomplicating the process. I'm not trying to sell smoke up people ass and shit like that. I'm just giving them exactly what they want. And once I have that offer, it's easy to convert that offer. I don't know where my marker. You see how the devil works? Like I had a marker and then he put a lighter in my hand. You know? Like I don't even know where my marker goes just now. Like you see my pocket. But initially, is this offer becomes our business, and so what you can then do is okay. Let's say I put $4.97 on here, but let's say you charge. Let's say you charge $149. All right, that's the average market value for this offer. It's $149. Let's say you charge $149 to do the site. That's your front end, but like I said before, is you still want to have multiple offers. You know, you should say offer two. All right, and offer two initially is a website, and it also could be business cards. So I can say $49. So not only that is I have a website for $149, and I have business cards. So I'm gonna say BC, you got C for $40. So my actual customer value just went from. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Let's erase some stuff and clear the whiteboard. So my actual customer value, I'm gonna say ACV, actual customer value, just went from 149 to with the other 49. So we're looking at. Let me erase this again because this don't look too good. It looks terrible. With the other 49, so we could say website, business cards, and like it could be graphics or flyers. So we could say flyer on graphics, whatever. We're charging another dang on $75, $79, $80 for that. Or so, you know? So with this being said initially, I just raised the actual customer value from just $100 to dang on 200 and what, you know, $230. Just like that. Or I'm probably off a little bit, but 200 $280 just like that. Like by offering more offers to the same audience. And so what that does is that increase my income without making any major changes. So with this 149, let's say I was doing 10 of those a day. So that's that's $1,500 a day, right? With this, if I'm doing 10 websites a day, that's $1,500 a day that I'm making with that, which is phenomenal, which is great. all right? But if I add the business cards to that and I'm doing 10, or let's say it's a 40% upsell rate because that's your average click up rate. Like, let's say you have 10 people to click on an offer and they shop with you. A lot of case scenarios, you will have at least a 40 to 80% one click upsell that will increase this value. And that's regardless of the platform you have. And so let's say we have 10 of those and we may have 5 of the 49s. So that's still at least another 248, 245 initially a day. And so what we're looking at actual value for today because of websites. So I'm gonna say WS and I'm gonna say business cards, BS, not meaning like no BC, excuse me. And so now we're looking at an average of what that is, probably like 170, 170, yeah, 1,700, almost $1,800. So that's what we're looking at there. And so we're trying to increase this all the way up to they gone 2,000 and change that $1,500 into 2,000 or $2,500 where we're making more on the back end with that. So let's say that upsell is just like I said, 40% of these people actually buy this, so that gives us a whole nother bump, at least another 10%, at least another dang on few percent. I can't say 10%, but at least a good little 20% increase, between 10 to 15% increase in our revenue just by offering a second offer. And so if you do a third offer, like let's say flyers, like I'm gonna just put flyers, that could be, let's say off the same traffic, right? The same 10 people that we got in, nothing different, just more money, same 10 people. So we say flyers, and let's say they gone 30% of the people want to do the flyers. So I think I put $79. So you do 80 times 3. What is 80 times 3? You guys, you know. So it's like like 210. So that's what we're looking at, like two. I put 78. So we're looking at 207 a day. Okay, just because of flyers. Okay, so that gives us that shit fucking down near almost like our boots. That gives us almost down near $2,000, and that's what we want is down there a 50% increase in revenue. And that's just with three different offers. That's one offer initially that we're selling them. That's the second offer that we offer them, and this is the third offer initially that we skew. And a lot of times these offers, you guys like, oh, this is nice money and stuff like that, but how do you make it? Well, a lot of that comes into, well, let me go ahead and write this down. So let's do the math on this right quick. So we're looking at 149, 1,500 plus this and that, and you're looking at 1,500 plus 700, 750 plus another 200. So you're looking at like 19. Let's see, 19. Let's say 1920. All right, let's just round it. All right, after fees and stuff, it'll probably be like 1920. So we increased this from $1,500 to almost $2,000 a day. All right, literally, and that's with total. All right, so and that's just doing that. But how in the world you sell these offers? Email. It's not rocket science. It's email. Cold call, and not email, but book calls. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like you have all of these devices, and you can screenshot that right now. You have all these devices that people recommend and stuff like that, but a lot of the times it resolves back into a sale, which is booking a call. So if you're scared to get on the phone, you need to write super good emails that can convey people. And you have to do a lot of email marketing. It could be you writing the emails to the people yourselves, which I really recommend. I really don't recommend using softwares for everything. I really recommend writing out emails to your clients. I mean, unless you're using ChatGPT, I use ChatGPT. Like, why not? It's easy, it's helpful. Um, initially doing that and then sending that out to those people, that's how you're going to convert those. But having them on the phone initially, that's where the majority, I could say 70% of all internet sales comes down to a phone call. And I know that's like something people don't want to hear, but as I go through mentorship, that's what I learned is 70% of all SaaS software, which is software companies, make their money on the phone. So if it's a course or it's a program or anything else that you're selling on the internet, it's probably going to do best on the phone. Now, is it possible to make sales straight from a sales letter? Yeah, of course. Is it possible to close a $150 item, a $75 item straight off of cold traffic? Of course it is. What it's going to entail is a lot of email, a lot of value proposition, and a lot of credibility. Now, can you create that? Yes. Like I said on the last video from yesterday, it requires a lot of email marketing. It requires a lot of outreach. It requires a lot of phone calls. Not necessarily phone calls, but definitely a lot of emails and targeting on the ideal client of who you're trying to reach. But email marketing and SMS is essential in order for this to work. Like there's no way around it. Email marketing and SMS is essential for this to work. All right. Hope you guys are getting value off of this today. If you haven't already, go ahead and sign up for G7.com. Become a pro member. I'm going to send you over some emails and some templates, some more information and value of that nature. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the future.